Kafunda. Yuji Kafunda.
Burt Bacharach, one of pop's greatest songwriters, dies aged 94. One of pop music's greatest composers, Burt Bacharach, died on Wednesday. He wrote enduring hits like I Say a Little Prayer, Walk On By, and What the World Needs Now Is Love. Along with the lyricist Hal David, he also wrote numerous movie themes, including What's New Postcard, Alfie and The Look of Love, a major hit for Dusty Springfield. Another collaborator, Donnie Warwick, said the songwriter's death was like losing a family member. Bacharach died on Wednesday at home in Los Angeles of natural causes. His publicist Tina Brosman said, known for his airborne melodies and spontaneous orchestral arrangements, Bacharach was one of the most important songwriters in the 20th century. His career, he scored more than 50 chart hits in the US and UK, with artists including Warwick, Frank Sinatra, and the Beatles, Barbara, Tom Jones, Franklin, and Elvis Costello, all recording his songs. Bacharach won 3 Oscars, 2 Golden Globes, and 6 competitive Grammy Awards, and was hailed as music's greatest living composer when he accepted the Grammy Lifetime Achievement honor in 2008. In her tribute, Warwick said, "Those words I have been asked to write are being written with sadness over the loss of my dear friend and my musical partner. On the lighter side, we laughed a lot and had our run-ins, but always found a way to let each other know our family, like roots, we were the most important parts of our relationships." Other music stars shared their thoughts about Bacharach. The Beach Boys' Brian Wilson said he was a hero of mine and very influential on my work, adding he was a giant in the music business. His songs will live forever. Former Oasis star Noel also posted saying, "R.I.P. Maestro. It was a pleasure to have known you." Oscar-winning songwriter Diane Warren said the field had lost its Beethoven, while film and TV composer David Arnold agreed he was one of the greatest songwriters of all time. Bacharach's music touched multiple genres, from cool jazz and rhythm and blues to bossa nova and traditional pop, but they shared only one thing in common. You could recognize them within a couple of notes. It was a style inspired by his tutor, French jazz musician Darius Milhaud. His observation was, "Never be ashamed of something that is melodic." One could whistle, Bacharach recalled. And that was a valuable lesson I learned from him. Never forgot that one. Never be afraid of something that you can whistle. Born in Misro, Bacharach grew up in New York, where he first studied cello, drums, and piano as a child. Enraptured by jazz and bebop, he would often sneak out to watch sets by his heroes, Dizzy Gillespie and Charlie Parker, and began playing in jazz bands of his own in the 1940s. After graduating from school, he studied music theory and composition. Even when his education was interrupted by a spell of military, he toured army bases as a uniformed concert pianist. After returning home, he toured with Mary's audition, becoming her personal conductor, but said his early success was all down to luck. "I wasn't chasing it. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was caught in the drift of things," he later reflected. I'm not a person who will walk over people, kill people, step on people to get to the next place where they want to be. Things just happened for me. I was very fortunate. In the 1950s, he was hired to work in New York's Brill Building, an epicenter of the music industry, and started writing country rock smashes like The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance and Only Love Can Break a Heart for Jane Pinnett. He scored his first UK member #1 in 1957 with Michael Hollywood's sweet but charming The Story of My Life, a song that was originally recorded by Marty Robinson in the US. That song also happened to be his first collaboration with Hal David, with whom he forged one of the most successful songwriting partnerships of the 1960s. Their sophisticated pop was often at odds with more rockerous sounds of rock and roll, but the hits kept coming, especially when they teamed up with Don Warwick. Over a period of 10 years, the trio enjoyed 39 consecutive US hits, including such memorable songs as Walk On By, Don't Make Me Over, I Will Never Fall in Love Again, and Promises. Warwick later sued Bacharach after he and David stopped working together, leaving her without new material to record. It was a very costly and unfortunate dispute. Bacharach told The Guardian in 2019, adding, I stupidly handled it wrong. He and Warwick reconciled for the 1985 charity single That's What Friends Are For, which raised $1.5 million for the American Foundation for AIDS Research, AMFA, and also featured vocals from Elton John, Stevie Wonder, and Gladys Knight. Outside the partnership, Bacharach and David won a Grammy and an Oscar in 1969 for Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, performed by B.J. Thomas and featured in the film Bachelor's and Sundance Kid. Bacharach's music for the film also won the Oscar for the Best Original Score. Although his hits tailed off in later years, Bacharach remained a popular figure, collaborating with Adele, Sheryl Crow, and Dr. Dre, among others. Oasis guitarist Noel was a huge admirer and once admitted to lifting the chords for Half the World away from Bacharach's This Guy's in Love with You. It sounds exactly the same. I'm surprised he's not sued me yet. Bacharach made a memorable appearance in the second Austin Powers film, performing I Will Never Fall in Love Again on an open-top bus with Elvis Costello. In 2016, he also wrote the score for John Asher's indie drama Poe, saying he identified with the story, which explores the impact of autism on children. Bacharach's daughter Nick had died of suicide in 2007 at the age of 40 after a lifelong struggle with Asperger's syndrome. The musician was married 4 times to Paula Stewart in 1953, actress Angie Dickinson in 1958, his frequent musical collaborator Carol Bayer-Sager in 1982, and finally Jane Hansen in 1993. He is survived by Hansen and their children Olive and Regale, as well as son Christopher from his marriage by Bayer-Sager. May Burt Bacharach's soul rest in eternal peace.